What's up, y'all? This is your boy Eddie Jackson. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast, where we get into some wrestling talk. But this episode is brought to you by Laidback TV, okay? Over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel, all the HBOs, every language. If your ass can't speak English, which your ass should already, y'all can go to laidbacktv.com to get all your information, okay, on how to download it on your iPhones and your Androids on the Apple Store and the Play Store. And they got instructions on how to get it on your Fire Stick. And you can ask them all the questions you want on official_laidbacktv on their Instagram, okay? That's laidbacktv.com on their website and official_laidbacktv on their Instagram. Now let's get into some wrestling talk. Whoa! Here we go, guys. So, we got a little run-through on SmackDown, little run-through on Raw, because we got to get into Crown Jewel. That's going to go down in Perth, okay? With SmackDown, we had Aleister Black take the opportunity to challenge Sami Zayn for the U.S. Championship Open. Didn't succeed at it because we had Damian Priest who gave a little distraction. Damian Priest give him a little razor's edge on the table. Next week, we're going to get a last man standing match between the two. Let's see who's going to settle it in Perth. We got the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six are taunting the Street Profits. I don't know where they're going to go with this because it seemed like they were going to get the Street Profits a moment of getting out of the fucked way of each other's own team. Like, you know, get the Street Profits to separate and go on their own path. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens because we got the Wyatt Six defending the WWE Tag Team Championship next week on SmackDown against the Street Profits. I got the Wyatt Six on that one. Just saying. So we had a tag team match, right? A tag team match where Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion, teamed up with his buddy and mentor, Randy Orton, against Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Now, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed got the win. I think they're moving up. That's a big situation to beat Cody Rhodes, who's the reigning WWE champion, and Randy Orton, two men who were part of Legacy, okay? That's a big team to defeat. And they got the pinfall on Randy Orton. I think we should cut the bullshit and start looking at putting some tag team gold on Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. Like, why the fuck not? It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? The last time Judgment Day defended the World Tag Team titles was in July. I mean, how long are we going to get this? You know what I mean? They just walking around with gold. How you take the tag titles, the women's tag titles, from Roxanne and Raquel, but leave it on JD and Finn? Doesn't make sense, but let's see. But they got the win, and after the match, Seth Rollins was tempting to do a curb start on Cody Rhodes. And Paul Heyman said, don't do it, he's in your head. What happened? Jumped in the ring, got Crossroads. Next time, listen to your oracle. You can see it coming. Okay? On Raw. Okay. On Raw was an interesting promo. It was the top of the hour with CM Punk. Talking his talk. LA Knight jumps in because he's mentioned Seth Rollins in the World Championship. LA Knight, last guy to actually beat Seth Rollins, definitely pointed out, Punk, you got pinned in the last couple of months by Seth Rollins. Twice. Since when do you need to go in the back of the line? Here comes Jey Uso on his power trip saying, motherfucker, I ain't even got my rematch when I lost the world title. And I beat Gunther, something none of y'all motherfuckers could do until I did it at WrestleMania. They all want Seth Rollins' title, which is interesting because, they got to wait until Crown Jewel is over with, because Seth, we'll get to Crown Jewel, but Seth is pretty busy. That led to a tag team match because everybody's getting super kicked, everybody's getting punched. It went CM Punk, LA Knight versus the Usos. LA Knight is getting slick. It's getting slick. We had a GTS on Jey Uso, and LA Knight got the pinfall finally on Jey Uso. I want to know where they're going with this, because we got the Survivor Series, okay? But we're forgetting one thing. There is a Saturday Night Live. Not Saturday Night Live. I'm so sorry. Saturday night's main event coming in November. It's two of them, in November and in December. It's interesting. I feel like that's going to have a world title situation that might lead to Survivor Series. I want to know what that's going to be about. Roman Reigns popped up. The OTC won, Tribal Chief. Apparently, he got challenged by Bronson Reed to a match at Perth and Crown Jewel. We'll get to that. But he's feeling Jey Uso's head up. Now, people could look at it as Baby Jey Uso is getting, played with mentally by his own cousin and Roman Reigns. And I don't know, to a certain degree, I agree. But it's like, I don't know. With Jey Uso, was he doing better without Roman? I think so. Man, he's selling merch like a motherfucker, different shirts, yeets, everything. You know what I mean? I got a pair of the yeet glasses. You know what I'm saying? The championship, world championship, gold glasses. I got a pair of those. And I don't know. It's kind of interesting how, I mean, to a certain degree, I agree with Roman. You know what I mean? Like, stop worrying about all these motherfuckers. One of the reasons you don't have the world title back. You know? But, he lost fair and square to Gunther in the world championship rematch. You know what I'm saying? When he starts worrying about other people's shit, I do agree with Roman. You fuck up your opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like, your ribs were not even at 100%. When you're defending the title against Gunther, because you're butting in the situation with Cody and Logan Paul and John Cena, and then you're butting in the situation with Seth Rollins and the Vision. Like, you were going through 3 storylines when you were world champion. So I kind of agree with Roman. Yeah, he's got to find his own route. But I think also Jimmy could get there if he listens to Roman, but that's just me. It seems like they're going to lead, when it comes down to, I'll bring up Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, the IC champion, and AAA Mega Champion. Can't even say the word right. It looked like we might get, it looked like we were going to get a rematch with Dom and Rusev, but now it looks like we might get Penta involved because he wants the IC title as well. I think that's going to be a match at Saturday Night's Main Event next month. I think we're going to get Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Rusev. Triple threat for the Intercontinental title. That'll be a real tough defense for Dom, though. With no help from Judgment Day. That's just saying. Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins is questioning his, what happens if he loses at Crown Jewel against Cody. We'll get to Crown Jewel, but if he loses to Cody Rhodes for a 4th time, because he lost 3 times. He's 3-0 against Cody since Cody has returned at WrestleMania 38. He lost at WrestleMania 38. He lost at Backlash, and he lost at Hell in a Cell. Yes, this is a must-win for Seth. Otherwise, you are a secondary champion. How he wins. I feel he will win. I want to know how he wins. I don't want to know. I just want to see it. But I really think, what happens? How are you going to beat him? Can it be a regular one-on-one? It could be. Could be a fair and square match. I don't know. I feel like someone might be involved. A win's a win. But Seth asked him, Braun and Braun said they might not look at you the same with the Vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, people won't look at you the same, as a secondary world champion like that. And Paul stated, hell, if you lose, you're going to make me question why I chose you over Roman Reigns. That cut deep. But before we get done and go right into Crown Jewel, I wanna make this little point right here, right? This is about Kara Sane of the Kabuki Warriors. And that Alabama slam she did to Io Sky, where they're outside of the ring, and she did an Alabama slam where Io Sky's, the back of her neck, back of her head, hit the fucking apron, bro. I've seen that before in a different organization, but you gotta take care of your people, bro. You gotta learn from what the accidental situation that happened with D'Lo Brown and Draws. Draws became paralyzed due to a little mistake, a little accident. Nothing on D'Lo Brown, bless D'Lo Brown. You know what I'm saying? It was an accident. But it's like, when I see that Alabama slam, that's no accident. You're not calculating it correctly. Io Sky gotta make it to Crown Jewel on the weekend. You're gonna injure her. You could paralyze her. You could kill her. Kara Sane needs to cut the shit because she already had an accident earlier this year with Liv Morgan. Maybe it was a little miscalculation on the maneuver, but this one, there's not. You need to do better or stop doing fucking Alabama slams. Kara. But that's just me. Now, let's get into Crown Jewel, okay, real quick. So we got 5 matches, which is a little weird. Usually these PLEs are 6 matches, okay? Money in the Bank was, we won't count SummerSlam. I think Clash in Paris was. I'm not sure. It seemed like they're going to 5 matches now on regular PLEs. Unless you're the Royal Rumble, unless you're WrestleMania, definitely. Unless you're SummerSlam or even Survivor Series. It seemed like, like I get WrestleMania and SummerSlam. They're both 2 nights now. You gotta do You gotta do more. There's 7 matches each on both nights. But I don't get the 5 matches. This is gonna be their second PLE on ESPN. They had WrestlePalooza last month. Now we're on the Crown Jewel that's gonna go down in Perth. We got 5 matches, only 1 title match though. I won't even count the Crown Jewel matches. So we got Rhea Ripley, and this is our segment, Who You Got? So I'm gonna get my selections. All right, y'all keep your fucking own. We got Rhea Ripley and Io Sky taking on the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kara Sane, which we already just established them. Sorry. Gotta give the Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Rhea Ripley, home country of Australia. Last time she was in Perth, she was in the main event, defending the women's world title. So I got Rhea and Io. We got John Cena taking on AJ Styles one last time. The fans asked for it, they got it. I think they need to build up Cena for his last 4 nights, which he has 2 Raws, 1 in Boston, 1 in MSG in New York, Survivor Series, and then his final match in Washington, D.C. for Saturday night's main event. I got John Cena for the win on this one. This one just got added, Australian street fight between Roman Reigns and Australia's own Bronson Reed. I was picking Bronson Reed. I think it made sense for him to win at Clash in Paris. I still do. You need to put him over. You know what I'm saying? He's getting better. You know what I mean? As far as the promos go, he's phenomenal in the ring. Hell of a lot better than what I thought of him before. He's gaining. Because I want them to talk about Bronson as much as they do Braun. Because Braun, they keep saying, he's a guaranteed WrestleMania main eventer. Why would not Bronson Reed be one? It's a little weird. But, yeah, I actually thought it was going to be Roman versus Braun Breaker. Why we need to see this match again? But I understand it's Bronson. It's Bronson in Australia. So I got Reed. I got all the home countrymen. Reed and the countrywoman Rhea Ripley winning. So we got the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer taking on Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton. Sorry, Tiffy time. I think it's Steffi's time. I got Stephanie Vaquer winning that. But I think, honestly, it's going to be a coin toss. But I think one of the contenders for match of the night might be Stephanie Vaquer. Maybe. And then the main event is going to be for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship. Last year's Crown Jewel Champion, undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes taking on World Heavyweight Champion, the Visionary, Seth freaking Rollins. I got Seth winning that one. I think the women's and the men's Crown Jewel Championship have the potential to be match of the night. But that's my picks. Rhea and Io, Bronson Reed, John Cena, Stephanie Vaquer, and Seth freaking Rollins for the win on Crown Jewel Perth this weekend, this Saturday. It's going down on ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all tune in. I'm your boy D Jackson to Drop That Podcast. Make sure you like what you like what you see, you like what you hear. Hit that sub button, hit that like button, and leave a comment and say, what's up? All right? We out of this bitch. Peace. Enjoy Crown Jewel in Perth.